how to read the analytics for your Facebook ads. So with analytics, you're going to want to kind of check and see how your ads are doing. Is one doing better than the other? Are you finding that ads with video ads do better than image ads? Or are you finding that one particular audience you targeted is more responsive, clicking more on your ad than another? There's a lot that you can learn from this. And one of the things I want to caution you about going forward is don't try to figure out where every single solitary person who ever clicked on an ad or came to your website even came from, because there is so much new privacy information, privacy settings that people can opt into now, and they can opt out of being tracked now on Google, on Facebook, and with the new Apple iOS update, that it's not possible to get to that fine detail anymore. Honestly, you don't really need that fine detail. You are a business owner. You need to be able to handle this marketing in a simple, cost-effective, and timely fashion. So we just are going to use the information as an overall big picture of how well our marketing is doing and what things we might want to change or adjust. So starting with that, you do not have to go crazy with this. We're going to make it really easy. So the first thing I want you to do is to take a look over here, and underneath, we'll talk about this chart right here in a little bit and this chart here. But what I want you to do is to, make sure that you're here on the campaigns level. It says campaigns under this. I'm just covering up the campaigns and the name of the campaign, which is under here. For privacy reasons as well. So right here, you're going to see bid strategy and budget. These are things you set when you created the ad, and we've talked about those before. An attribution setting is basically, let's say somebody clicks on your website, okay, and they come back in 7 days and buy something from you. Well, that attribution setting is 7 days, so it will catch them. If they come back on the 10th day, the attribution setting has not told your analytics to follow them. It hasn't told them to track them that long. It kind of gave up tracking them after the 7 days ended. So on that 10th day, when they come back, they appear as a new person, and all you know is where they were or what steps they took in, since that 10th day, which is technically day number 1, starting all over again. I hope that makes sense. So over here is results, and results are link clicks in this case, okay? If you've got a video ad, it's going to be video views. But here we're going to go and show you link clicks. So link click is somebody sees that ad and they click the button you put there, learn more, book now, whatever the button you chose was. They click on that, and that click takes them through to your website, to a landing page, whatever you're sending them to. Obviously, if, depending on the button you chose. So when they come through and they go through all the way through to your website, when they click on that button, then Facebook says, oh, we know they clicked it, so we know they were taken to your website, and it counts as one link click. Now, the reach is the number of individual people who had your ad placed on their newsfeed. Remember, this is an individual. So impressions is every single number of times your ad was placed on a news feed in the whole Facebook system, depending on what your targeting is. The difference between these two is this is individuals and this double counts, triple counts, whatever it is. So somebody can be counted multiple times in this number. Okay. Sometimes Facebook also has a frequency setting, which is not showing right now, but the frequency will tell you, did each person saw your ad 2.6 times? Because sometimes they'll show it to someone 3 times, and others only saw it once or twice. So it'll give you that indication, and their AI knows how many times to show it. Don't be upset about that, because people need to see you, hear you, see your information way more than one time before they're going to feel comfortable reacting or interacting with you or buying your product or even clicking a link. So that's actually a good thing. Now, the next box here is cost per result. We are getting charged per link click. Sometimes you're charged per video view, but here it's per link click. And this is a it's basically a bidding system. So depending on the audience you're trying to reach and the targeting parameters you've given Facebook, that's that's where this is going to come from. Some audiences are more expensive to reach than others. And basically that's the bottom line. And as you can see by these numbers, ads are all going to different audiences. So look at this one, 35 cents a click. And this was just last month, recording this in March of 2021. So that's all that was here. This is the total amount you've spent. And again, I've set this to the 1 month. I always like to look at it either as 1 month that has passed or in the current month we're in right now. So the next thing that you want to look at here is called the click-through rate. And on Facebook, the way you calculate a click-through rate is by dividing the total number of clicks on the ad, that's this results category, by the total number of impressions, the total number of times that that ad was put on a newsfeed. And the result is then multiplied by 100 so that you get a percentage. So let's take this bottom one here. This is this ad got 558 clicks in the month of February. So we're going to divide that by the total number of impressions, which is 19,352. And then multiply that number by 100. So we get a click-through rate of 2.88%. And that's insanely good. And the reason I know that is take a look at this chart over here. This is the Facebook advertising benchmark. So these are the average click-through rates for all these different industries on Facebook. This was 2019. This was prior to COVID. Things are totally out of whack now. So these numbers are so up in the air right now. But you can see this ad is still doing amazingly well. So the average click-through rate across all industries on Facebook is 0.89%. And as you can see, an industry like science gets less than 0.5%, but the pet industry gets 1.68%. And all of these vary in between. So this will give you some idea of what prior to COVID was average for your industry. And here, this is all across Facebook, 0.89%. And this particular ad is getting 2.22% click-through rate. So it's doing amazingly well. Now, that being said, there's something else you need to think about here, and that's great. They're clicking on it and they're going through to my website, but is anybody buying? Now, you have to look at the big picture. If you've just started running the ad, keep in mind that people have to get familiar with you. Most people won't see one ad, click one ad, buy, unless it's a very low price product. But when you're dealing with, a higher price product or service, it's a whole different story. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the whole big picture. So next, what I want you to do is to take this first ad here. Okay, we're going to highlight the ad, and then under here, I want you to click on View Charts on your ad. Okay, so when we view these charts, you are going to see that I need to move this over, don't I? There we go. You are going to see that performance comes up first. And remember, we're still in that 1 month time frame from last month. You see performance, 136 link clicks. We saw that before. 8,972 individual people were reached, and $208.32 were spent. Well, as you can see, I didn't turn this ad on until about February 18th. So that's not too bad considering that ad just started running at that point. The other thing I want to show you is the demographics. Now, when you click on this, it will show you the age group and whether it's males or females who are looking at your ad. Now, in most cases, you're going to want to leave the gender, say all genders, because a lot of times people don't fill that out on their Facebook page. So Facebook, let them decide. They have such good AI that they can target better than we can. So as you can see right here, we're going to look at 25 to 34. Within that age group, the men in that age group made up 2% of all those clicks, and the women made up 16% of all those clicks. Now let's go to this 45 to 54 age group. The women made up 25% of all clicks on that particular ad during February. So that's kind of interesting, and this can help you to understand a little bit more about your audience. Now, when you click on placement, this is going to show you a few things. Now, remember, we've already talked about, obviously it's on Facebook, but with one click, you can connect it to your Instagram page and show those ads on Instagram. You can also show the ads on Instagram whether you have an Instagram page or not. I have one client who does not use Instagram and his ads still run there. Audience network is something that Facebook owns, and you can select to be a part of it. And it's just, I don't even know the exact places it's in, but it's on, maybe an app or a streaming service, or it might show the ads in different places than on those two platforms. So that's what it's showing you.